So was last week's episode on episode number 2. We kind of got left off on that reincarnation with Cossette, dying and getting reincarnated and becoming something more, becoming a music artist. We also got the kind of entanglement between her and between Tact, right? We got them both kind of getting entangled into this transformation, which was something that was really, really awesome to see. Now, as we moved into this week's episode, this one is all about explanation. Now, I said it during my action, and I'll say it again during the review, is I think that this episode was the perfect follow-up to episode number 2. I feel like there was a lot of holes that were created that are now slowly being filled in, and a lot of the questions that I kind of have, like, well, who are the music arts? How were they created? Are kind of being filled in. So I'll tell you, right? What I really enjoyed about the episode was just getting more information on like what the hell's been going on inside of this world. So the things that I know and that have kind of surfaced during this episode with the introduction of the other maestro and the other music arts. Again, I keep forgetting this dude's name. Tommy, Jimmy, whatever it is. Jimmy, Tommy's, Timmy, something like that, whatever this dude's name is. But we have Titan, who is his music art, and then he's the maestro for her. He has kind of filled us in on everything that's been happening. So the very long story short on what happened with Cossette is that before the D2s attacked, right, the meteorites came, and there was a certain meteor or certain gem that within the meteor that was being scientifically researched, right? And, scientifically, it was, and I'm going to say scientifically like 3 more times. So I don't know why I'm using that word, but I am. But it was being researched, and there was powers that began to kind of surface from that. And there was a lot of research that began to, to happen prior to the D2's attack. So they already kind of has some kind of semblance of what this specific meteorite from space kind of was and what it did. Now, that specific meteorite or the gem that came from space prior to D2's attack is where the music arts abilities have come from, or where they have kind of been produced from. Now, my theory is they are the polar opposite of the D2s. So whatever the D2s are created from, the thing that landed on Earth prior was maybe like a defense mechanism, because they are the polar opposites. So they are the yin to their yang. They're the oil to the D2's water, right? So they're the perfect thing to kind of balance it out and to kind of be the things that prevent the D2's attack. So that's kind of where all the music arts kind of came from. And that's been researched and been produced by the Symphonica, which are like the people who are producing the music arts and things of that nature. Well, once they have kind of had their grasp on it, or before they fully had their grasp, the D2s came through the meteorite attack, and the D2s came and they attacked. And slowly, humanity began to put 2 and 2 together and was able to get a defense against them, and did that through the music arts. And now people are being produced to be music arts, and they're being produced to have partners, which are their maestros, right? Now, what happens when they become music arts is they do, in fact, lose themselves. Like Titan explained that happened to me, and they were explaining to Tact and Anna that this is what happened to Cossette, is that when they become music arts, they don't necessarily lose memories. They don't necessarily lose who they were. They just never were that person. They basically are like this shell, and they're filled in by the music arts. So Titan is Titan, Destiny is now Destiny. And that's essentially kind of like what has happened is she didn't lose who she was. She just never was. So now she is now Destiny. She's no longer Cossette. And no matter what Anna wants, because Anna was very beaten up by this information, they're going to make their way to the New York Symphonica, and she's hoping that Cossette can become Cossette again. But the reality is, like, she has now been reincarnated or transformed into this new person, and that's who she's going to be going forward. She's going to be Destiny. She's never going to go back to being Cossette. Now, the thing that they do have to travel to the New York Symphonica for is to get her balanced again, because right now, it was explained to us during the episode that she's incomplete. She shouldn't be transforming back into this basic form and transforming again. Throughout the episode, during the fights, right, after they came to and they were being explained, they were on the dinner table, and suddenly TAKT'S arm just disappeared, and she was able to sense the D2s, and she was able to transform and go. Well, what's been happening is that she's, or at least the theory is that she's draining TAKT'S life force to be able to use her abilities and powers, which shouldn't be happening based on what he said. So that's why TAKT, which I was wondering the whole time, like, what the hell keeps happening to this poor man? That's why TAKT, he loses his arm, so he loses that arm. That's what gives her the power to transform, and then he slowly begins to get enveloped by this redness. And what it is every time she uses the abilities, she is draining his life force. So she's changing life force into energy to go and fight against the D2s. So that's essentially what's happening. So they need to make their way to the New York Symphonica to be able to complete her transformation per normal, like what the other music arts have been able to do. Because even if you notice, there was like some slight differences between the maestro with Titan and between TAKT, right? Like TAKT, like his eyes changed. It seems like he was kind of given abilities too, because he was like really fast and like really mobile. And I don't know if Piano Boy was exactly like Mr. Ninja before, but I highly doubt it. So it seems like he was kind of given. It seems like their transformation or their reincarnation was done in tandem, and it should have been done separately. So I kind of felt like, okay, well, he kind of got some powers from that too. So they're gonna need to go. They're gonna need to go get research, and I think the anime is gonna kind of take us through the adventure of them getting there. But overall, the episode, like I said, was a perfect complement to episode number 2. I'm really enjoying it. The fight scenes were fantastic. I don't know if it was Mappa or Madhouse. I know Madhouse did the first episodes. I don't know if this one was Madhouse or if this one was Mappa. I think this one was Mappa, but the fight scenes were fantastic. Poor TAKT'S house gets blown. I mean, obliterated. It gets blown to the eons. But the fight scenes were fantastic, and I just love the information that we have been getting. And I'm so excited that as we move forward, we're going to get more information, and hopefully it doesn't end with them getting to New York. Hopefully they get to New York before that, so we can start piecing more of this together. I also really like the Jimmy or Jammy or Timmy or whatever the hell this dude's name is. I like him as well because I like how he kept hitting on TAKT. I thought that was very funny. But overall, fantastic episode. Perfect compliment to episode number 2. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys watch our full reaction. The video is going to be popping up right here. Video below, it's another one YouTube says is best for you. And I'll see you guys next week for episode number 4 of TAKT Op Destiny. Peace out, friends.